Hello and welcome back to the TV Show Club, the club where we talk about TV shows that I've been recently watching, viewing and enjoying. Let me know what you've been recently watching and enjoying, and if you've seen what I'm about to talk about, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. When the announcements came out for the Acolyte, I wasn't dead excited. I mean, it's this pace of Star Wars that does excite me, but I don't necessarily have faith in the production team of Star Wars anymore that they'll do a good job of this sort of thing. I was proven wrong by the trailer, and now I've also been proven wrong by episode 1 and 2. When the trailer came out, I was really excited for this. I thought it looked really fresh. I loved the sort of vibrancy of the show and the look of it, and just seeing Jedis. I just love sort of, you know, we've always had this, I mean, pre-Empire, obviously, there's the Council, but there's also not a lot of content that just follows all the Jedis and just follows how the time was when Jedi were on top and they were fine and they were good. And also it's not just focused on here's Anakin, here's how Darth Vader came to be and all this. So I've really loved the concept and the trailer hooked me, and the first two episodes were absolutely no exception. I mean, I was genuinely instantly intrigued by the first scene before the title credits. That first fight, I mean, just from the set design of that bar, it brought you straight into the Star Wars universe, along with the absolute brilliant choreography, and a little bit different for Star Wars. I feel like it was a very drawn out fight, it was very gritty, it was just the acting of it I really enjoyed. I thought both actresses did a great job. It was genuinely just a joy to watch, a great fight. One had a lightsaber. I love seeing the Force in use. It's something that we don't get much of anymore. I mean, we really don't. We are deprived of like Force using Jedis, and this was just brilliant. It was throughout the whole 2 episodes, to be honest. I love the sort of focus on how great and brilliant the Jedi are at this time point, the way that they use the Force, the way that they use the lightsaber, the outfits, and just everything about that. From the first scene had me hooked, and then throughout I was just really intrigued. It was just sort of so cool to see this time period. And while I do find some of the sort of dialogue choices or the acting styles a little bit sort of cringy, it kind of has to be that. I can't remember his name, but the Jedi who tags along with them in the second episode, again, I forgot his name now, but he is very cringe, but he's kind of supposed to be. He's supposed to be like that, like, I am the Jedi Enforcer guy, and I am the one who follows the rules. He is supposed to be that guy. So while it is sort of a little bit cringe at times, it makes sense for the character, and I do get it, but I also hope that he sort of loosens up. One thing that I was just genuinely impressed with, like I said, from the sort of intro scene and throughout, was the set design. The set design of just every single place that they went to, it felt full and vibrant. It didn't feel like how Mando sometimes feel like you can tell that they're on the like virtual screen that they use now, where it's just like closed off and there's just two people stood next to each other and there's no room for anything else. It actually felt like they were in this vibrant, lived-in world, especially when they were going through the towns and doing things like that. I love the look, I love the colour palettes. I thought that was really interesting. It's something that it was a little bit more cinematic than we're sort of used to, especially on stuff like Mando, and it's just nice to see colours other than dirt, sand towns. I was just really brought into the world, like I say, from just the way it was filmed to the set design. And as well, I think something that was brilliantly done was the character designs and the outfit choices that they picked for the characters. Each represents what the character is sort of about and their sort of characteristics, and the way that they're crafted, it just looks so brilliantly done, and I genuinely think that that deserves a lot of praise. I honestly have no complaints for the first 2 episodes of Acolyte. I'm genuinely excited to see where this goes. I mean, the only issue that I always have with like going back in time and doing prequel stuff is you know the outcome. In a sense, at least, you know that in 100 years' time, it's going to end with Anakin and the Empire and everything like that. But we don't know how this story turns out. We don't know how their story is going to go and what this mysterious sort of Sith-looking character is, who may not be a Sith because that breaks canon, which we all know Star Wars theory hates. He hates everything that's not Lucas. He just hates everything Star Wars, when this show is brilliantly just crafted and a brilliantly Star Wars thing, but he just always picks fault with everything. I don't get it. I do not understand it at all. My one gripe with the first episode's Acolyte, why did they not choose to have the text scrolling at the first episode? Like, the most minor thing in the world, don't get me wrong, but like, why was the text static? I don't understand. It's Star Wars. Have it scrolling up and then the pan down, and that would just make it feel like nostalgic Star Wars. Like it would bring you into that, whereas having static like text just doesn't feel the same. I don't know. That is literally just me, and that is the most minorest thing. But hey, if that's the only thing I've got to complain about, then the show must have been quite good. Anyway, let me know, what did you think of the first episode of Acolyte? Are you actually excited for the rest of the series? Are you just sort of already switched off from it? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time on the TV Show Club.